गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। आई होप आप लोग अच्छे होंगे, अपने घर पे सुरक्षित होंगे। और लास्ट लेक्चर वीडियो में हम लोगों ने इंटरफेरेंस को समझा था। हम लोगों ने कंडीशंस फॉर सस्टेन इंटरफेरेंस एंड वी आल्सो हैड कैलकुलेटेड द फ्रिंज विड्थ इन द इंटरफेरेंस पैटर्न। और यंग डबल स्लिट एक्सपेरिमेंट में किस तरह उन्होंने वेव नेचर ऑफ वेव थ्योरी ऑफ हाइगन्स को इस्टेब्लिश किया, एक्सप्लेन किया। ये सब चीजें हम लोग कल अपने लास्ट लेक्चर वीडियो में पढ़ चुके थे, देख चुके थे। तो आज इस वीडियो में हम लोग एक नए टॉपिक को शुरू कर रहे हैं, जो कि ये भी एक फिनोमेना ही है लाइट का, जिसको रे कॉन्सेप्ट से या पार्टिकल नेचर से एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया जा सकता। सो दिस इज ऑल्सो अ phenomena which can explain only on by using the concept of wave theory of light or concept of wavefront, that is diffraction. So in this particular lecture video we will cover up some more interesting topic of related to polarization also. चूंकि polarization आपके CBSE सिलेबस से 2020-21 में जो है वो एक्सक्लूड कर दिया गया है, बट फिर भी हम इसको एक एनालिटिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से स्टडी जरूर करेंगे, बिकॉज इट इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर योर अपकमिंग एग्जामिनेशंस, upcoming competitive examinations. So here we are. There are topics which we are going to cover in this session. So first is diffraction. So let me tell you that diffraction is the bending of light from the sharp corners. ठीक है, sharp corners से light के bend होने की जो phenomena है, that is called diffraction. So the phenomena of bending of light around the corners and the encroachment of light within the geometrical shadow of the opaque obstacle is called diffraction. तो दो टाइप से डिफ्रैक्शन हो सकता है। सपोज ये कि हमारा लाइट सोर्स एस है, ऑफ कोर्स मोनोक्रोमेटिक है, और ये एक स्लिट है जिसमें स्लिट स्पेसिंग हमने थोड़ी सी ली है। ये सिंगल स्लिट स्पेसिंग हमने यहाँ पर यूज करी है, और ये हमारी स्क्रीन रही, और इस तरह हमें एक डिफ्रैक्शन पैटर्न मिलता है जिसमें सेंट्रल ब्राइट के इधर उधर डार्क पोर्शन हमको मिलता है। एक और डिफ्रैक्शन कैटेगरी हो सकती है जिसमें ऑब्स्टिकल होगा, लेकिन ऑब्स्टिकल ओपेक होगा, ओपेक ऑब्स्टिकल, और उसमें भी डिफ्रैक्शन जो है वो होता है, जिसमें आपको सेंट्रल डार्क मिलेगा और उसके इधर उधर ब्राइट पोर्शन आपको दिखेगा। सो दैट इज द डिफ्रैक्शन. फर्स्ट केस इज द डिफ्रैक्शन एट अ स्लिट एंड सेकंड केस द डिफ्रैक्शन फॉर फ्रॉम अ ऑब्स्टिकल ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट. So this is type of diffraction which we are going to study. हालांकि सिंगल स्लिट से जो डिफ्रैक्शन है उसकी दो और कैटेगराइजेशन होते हैं, फ्रेस्नेल डिफ्रैक्शन एंड फ्रॉनहोफर डिफ्रैक्शन. सो डिफ्रैक्शन एट अ सिंगल स्लिट at an angle of diffraction if theta equal to 0 degree. Okay, so let us consider a slit AB and a screen, and suppose a parallel wavefront, a plane parallel wavefront is coming through the slit, and if there is a converging lens in the front of the slit, then after crossing through slit the central bright fringe you will obtain at point O on the screen. Here I want to mention one important thing that for जैसे कि सस्टेन इंटरफेरेंस के लिए हमारे पास कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट कंडीशंस थी, जैसे अगर हम सस्टेन इंटरफेरेंस की बात करें, सस्टेन इंटरफेरेंस की बात करें, इंटरफेरेंस, तो उसमें दो कंडीशंस बहुत नेसेसरी थी. फर्स्ट इज लाइट शुड बी मोनोक्रोमेटिक एंड लाइट सोर्सेस शुड बी कोहेरेंट. बिल्कुल ऐसे ही डिफ्रैक्शन के लिए भी एक कुछ इसेंशियल प्रॉपर्टीज है, इसेंशियल कंडीशंस है जिनका सेटिस्फाई होना बहुत जरूरी है. फर्स्ट दैट लाइट शुड बी मोनोक्रोमेटिक, ताकि आपको जो फ्रिंजेस मिल रही हैं, जो पैटर्न मिल रहा है, वो एक डिस्टिंक्ट पैटर्न हो. एंड सेकेंड वन इज दैट स्लिट स्पेसिंग should be of the order of upcoming wavelength. ये हमको ध्यान रखना है कि जो हमारी स्लिट स्पेसिंग है, जो स्लिट की डिस्टेंस है, जो ओपनिंग है, उसकी डिस्टेंस, उसकी लेंथ या उसकी लेंथ का ऑर्डर हमारी आने वाली रे, आने वाली लाइट, आने वाले वेव, लाइट वेव के वेवलेंथ के ऑर्डर की ही होनी चाहिए। तो अगर ये दोनों कंडीशन सेटिस्फाइड है, ओनली देन डिफ्रैक्शन कैन बी पॉसिबल। ओके, मूविंग ऑन। So suppose capital D is the distance between slit and the screen. So you can see that if we take a parallel plane wavefront, then there will be a central bright fringe you will obtain at point O on the screen, and small d is the slit spacing. Capital D is the distance between slit and screen, and small d is the slit spacing between point A and point B. So the wavelets from the single wavefront reach on the center O on the screen in same phase and hence interfere constructively to give central or primary maximum, that is bright fringe. Now we are considering the second case. मान लीजिए एट एन एंगल ऑफ डिफ्रैक्शन इफ थीटा इक्वल्स टू थीटा 1। सपोज हमारा जो डिफ्रैक्शन एंगल है वो थीटा ना होकर थीटा 1 है। सो द स्लिट इज इमेजिन टू बी डिवाइडेड इनटू टू इक्वल हाफ्स। Now we are assuming to divide the slit into two equal halves. So one half is small d by 2 and other half is small d by 2, and point P1 is the point where we obtain a particular fringe. So since O is the center where we get the bright fringe, now we are calculating for point P1. तो theta 1 हमारा angle of diffraction है here, angle of diffraction. So you can see the angle theta 1 से हमारा क्या significance है. So what is the difference between the wavefront we got? So that is the perpendicular AN on ray BN. So that is lambda by 2, and if total is lambda. So the wavelets from the single wavefront diffract at an angle theta 1 such that Bn is lambda and reach the point P1. So the pair 0,6, 1,7, 2,8, 3,9, 4,10, 5,11 and 6,12 interfere destructively with path difference lambda by 2 and give first secondary minimum, that is dark fringe. Similarly, we can calculate for another angle also. Suppose at an angle of theta equals to theta 2. So the slit is imagined to divide into 4 equal parts. Now if we imagine it divides into 4 equal parts, then the difference will be lambda by 2, comma lambda, then 3 lambda by 2 and 4 lambda by 2, that is 2 lambda. So again we get the dark fringe over there. So the wavelets from the single wavefront diffract at an angle theta 2 such that Bn is 2 lambda and reach the point P2. So the pair 0, 3, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5. Just a minute. Okay, now 4, 5, 4, 7, 5, 8 and 6, 9 and so on interfere destructively with path difference lambda by 2 and give the secondary minimum, that is dark fringe. तो इस तरह ये चीजें ग्रेजुअली आगे बढ़ती है। लेकिन सपोज अब हम अगर इसको 3 on the places of even equal parts, suppose we divide our slits on odd equal parts. Suppose at an angle of diffraction theta 1 dash, the slit is imagined to be divided into 3 equal parts. In that case, the difference will be lambda 2, comma lambda and 3 times of lambda by 2. So the wavelets from the single wavefront diffract at an angle theta 1 such that the Bn is 3 lambda by 2 and reach the point P1 dash. So the pair 0, 8, 1, 9, 2, 10, 3, 11 and 4, 12 interfere constructively with path difference and give you the bright fringe. So basically we along with the central bright point O, you got the successively dark and bright fringes on the both sided of a central bright fringe. So diffraction at various angles, if we combine to the whole that illustration, that this is the theta equal to 0, then theta 1, then theta 1 dash, then theta 2, then so we get this type of diffraction pattern. in which we get the central bright fringe and then successive bright and dark portion over there on the screen. So central maxima is the brightest fringe and diffraction is not visible after a few order of diffraction. So if we want to calculate the whole thing, then the path difference of 0th wavelets and 12th wavelets is Bn. So Bn equals to d sine theta will be the general equation. So obviously for theta 1 is d sine theta 1 equal to lambda. For theta 2 equals to d sine theta 2 equals to 2 lambda. So generally we can write d sine theta n equals to n lambda, where n is the number of diffraction. Now, to establish the condition of secondary maxima, the slit is divided into 3, 5, 7 basically odd equal parts, such that the corresponding wavelets from the alternate regions interfere with path difference of lambda. So उस केस में भी d sin theta 1 dash equals to 3 lambda by 2, d sin theta 2 dash equals to 5 lambda by 2. So basically we can calculate the theta n dash equals to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2d, and here the theta n equals to n lambda by d. So for constructive interference and for destructive interference, to constructive diffraction and destructive interfere, both the cases we get the different angles. So theta n is very small, that's why we excluding the sine portion, and we again get the value of angle theta n and theta n dash. So here we get the condition. Suppose if theta n equals to n lambda by d, then n equals to from 1 to 3 to 4 and so on, and similarly theta n dash equals to 2n plus 1 times of lambda by 2d. Similarly we can calculate the width of central maximum also. So for calculating the width, basically we have to subtract the position of first dark and central bright. So that is tan theta 1 equals to lambda 1 by d, and theta 1 equals to lambda 1 by d, because the theta 1 is a very small angle. So d sine theta 1 equals to lambda, hence theta 1 equals to lambda by d. So y1, that is width, is d lambda by d. Since the central maxima is spread on both the sides, so y1 is upward and y1 is also the length which is will be downward also. So total width is 2 times of d lambda upon d, that is beta naught. So this is how we can calculate the width of central maxima. Now we are going to calculate the Fresnel distance. So Fresnel distance is the distance from the slit at which the spreading of light due to diffraction become equal to the size of the slit. So that is y1 equals to d lambda upon d. और चूंकि हमारी स्लिट की साइज जो है वो स्मॉल d थी, तो स्मॉल d की से आप इक्वेट कर दीजिए. So that is y1 equals to small d. So we get the d equals to d times df, that is Fresnel distance. So Fresnel distance is basically slit spacing square by lambda. So if the distance capital D between the slit and the screen is less than Fresnel's distance, then diffraction effect may be regarded as absent. So ray optics may be regarded as a limiting case of wave optics, but for diffraction we have to understand the wave nature of light. So here we are also have to understand the difference between interference and diffraction. So as we know that interference is due to the superposition of two different wave trains coming from a coherent sources, while on the diffraction we need only a single source. There is no need to superposition. We need to superimpose the wavelets, secondary wavelets of the primary source. This is a basic difference. In second is the interference have the fringe width is generally constant, that is a sustained interference, and in case of diffraction fringes are of varying width. It is successive decreasing in nature. If there is a bright, then it will be decreasing in bright. If there is, you consider the dark, then it will be decreasing in the dark portion. So in the case of interference, all the maximas have the same intensity, but in diffraction the maxima are varying with intensities, with the distance. Now in the interference there is a good contrast between the maximas and minimas, but in diffraction there is no such contrast you found. You basically there is a poor contrast will be there. So this is the basic difference between interference and diffraction, and you can understand that difference with the graph of interference pattern and diffraction pattern also. Now moving on our new topic, that is polarization. So here we had completed the diffraction part. Now we are going to study about polarization of light. Since polarization is removed from your syllabus, so this is just for your analytical studies. तो पोलराइजेशन का जो मतलब होता है, पोलराइजेशन का मतलब ही ये होता है कि किसी पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप को, किसी पर्टिकुलर समूह को किसी एक ही दिशा में निर्देशित कर देना, भेज देना. एंड दैट सिमिलर मीनिंग एंड significance of polarization in case of light will be there. So polarization of transverse mechanical wave is, suppose we have a narrow slit and there is a wave passing through it, and suppose we rotate the slit. Suppose we rotate the slit, then there will be a no wave passing through it. So in that case, we have to understand the meaning of polarization. So polarization means to allow the specific vibrations of wave of light in a specific direction by excluding the other vibrations. That is called polarization. So if we consider the natural light, then the natural light have the vibrations spreading in the medium uniformly in all the directions. But in case of polarized light, the vibrations are specifically spreading in a particular direction. So that is the representation of natural light over there. So basically natural light have vibrations parallel to the plane also. These are the vibrations representing parallel to the planes. And this is the vibrations representing the vibrations perpendicular to the plane. So this light and this light have perpendicular and parallel, both type of vibrations. So this is a natural light, but this is our polarized light. Now, so parallel to the plane, wave parallel to the plane are represented by arrows, and vibrations perpendicular to the plane are represented by dots. So in natural light, millions of transverse vibrations occurs in all the directions, perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. But for convenience, we can assume the rectangular component of the vibrations, with one component lying on the plane of the diagram and the other is perpendicular to the plane of the diagram. So light wave are electromagnetic wave with electric and magnetic field oscillations at right angles to each other, and also to be direction of propagation of wave. Therefore, the light wave can be polarized. So suppose there is a tourmaline crystal which is used as a polarizer, and we are allowed any normal light, ordinary light through this polarizer, then what we get? Since the perpendicular vibrations are being stopped by the optical axis of the crystal, so only parallel vibrations being passed through polarizer and analyzer also. But now if there is an intensity, you get the maximum intensity over here. Here you get maximum intensity. But suppose if you rotate this crystal, with respect to the axis of polarizer, then what will happen? Suppose you start rotating the crystal. So when the analyzer crystal becomes perpendicular to the plane of polarizer, there will be a no light over there. There is minimum intensity you found, 0. No light over there. So since no light is representing the physical significance of zero intensity is here, that this particular light is completely plane polarized. Since the second crystal is detecting this phenomena, so that's why the second crystal is called polarizer, and second crystal is called analyzer, and first crystal is called polarizer. There is no difference between polarizer and analyzer. Basically we can change the position of analyzer and polarizer. अगर आप different इनकी positions को change कर दें, तो जो analyzer crystal है वही polarizer की तरह काम कर लेगा, और जो polarizer crystal है वो analyzer की तरह काम कर देगा. So there is nothing difference as such in the construction or any fabrication between analyzer and polarizer. Now Moving to the second thing is similarly here. So this is the plane of vibrations, plane of polarization. So when unpolarized light is incident on the polarizer, the vibrations parallel to the crystallographic axis are transmitted and those perpendicular to the axis are absorbed. So therefore the transmitted light is plane polarized or linearly polarized. So the plane which contains the crystallographic axis and vibrations transmitted from the polarizer is called plane of vibrations. The plane which is perpendicular to the plane of vibration is called the plane of polarizer. There is a very important law is law of Malus which said that intensity of polarized light is directly proportional to the square of cos theta where theta is the angle between plane of polarizer and plane of analyzer. Let us suppose there is a polarizer and there is analyzer and there is angular difference theta between the optical axis of polarizer and analyzer, then I proportional to cos square theta. So if you remove this sign of proportionality, you get I equals to I naught cos square theta, where I naught is the peak value of पोलराइज लाइट, पीक इंटेंसिटी ऑफ पोलराइज लाइट. तो आप देखिए अगर cos थीटा के एंगल के बेस पे ही हम समझें, सो एज यू इंक्रीज द वैल्यू ऑफ थीटा from 0 to 90, gradually cos value decreases and that's why the intensity decreases, and when the theta become 90 the value is is minimized, is value is 0 because cos 90 value is 0. So this can be understand by making a graph also. आप इसको एक ग्राफ की स्टडी से भी समझ सकते हैं. सो व्हेन थीटा इक्वल टू 0 डिग्री और 180 डिग्री intensity is maximum, that is I equal to I naught, but when theta is 90 degree intensity is minimum, that is I equal to 0. So when unpolarized light is incident on an analyzer, the intensity of the transmitted light is 1/2 of the intensity of incident light. Now the polarization by reflection and Brewster's law. This is also a very important point, important fact, that when we allowed any ordinary light on any refracting surface, so for a particular incident angle, the reflected light is partially, when we incident any normal light on a reflecting surface, there is a partially reflection also being takes place. So that partially reflected light is plane polarized with having the vibrations perpendicular to the plane, and the refracted light is partially plane polarized, or we can say it is almost the normal. So for that particular incident angle IP, if the angle between reflected and refracted ray is 90 degree, so that is called angle of polarization in case of polarization through reflection. So the incident light wave is made on parallel vibration on the plane of incident and perpendicular vibrations, so perpendicular to the plane at a particular incident angle theta IP. हम यहाँ पे वैसे IP भी ले सकते हैं, यहाँ पे मैंने theta P लिया है, that is polarizing angle. So at a particular angle theta P, the parallel components completely refracted, whereas the perpendicular component partially get refracted and partially get reflected. That is, reflected components are all in perpendicular plane of vibrations, hence the called plane polarized light. So according to Brewster's, the angle between theta P and R is 90 degree, that is R equals to 90 minus theta P. So if we considering about the refractive index, then refractive index of second medium with respect to 1, that is mu b of with respect to A is sine theta P by sine R, that is sine theta P minus sine 90 minus theta P. So mu equals to tan theta P, because sine 90 minus theta P is become cos theta P. So this is the important law of Brewster's, and this takes a very vital role in case of the study of different surfaces for using for polarization. Now the most important and last but not the least topic is of this particular unit is Polaroids. So let me tell you that we used for polarizing crystals, like quartz crystal, Nicol prism, and tourmaline crystals. But crystals may have a defects also. So it is quite difficult to fabricate a pure defectless or found naturally crystal which can used as a polarizer or analyzer. So what we do, we artificially develop some devices to create polarization and for the analyzation also. So those devices, those artificial polarizers are called basically polarites. So, suppose Polarites is prepared by taking a sheet of polyvinyl alcohol and subjected to a large strain. The molecules are oriented parallel to the strain, and the material becomes doubly refracting when strained with iodine, and material behave like a dichloric crystal. So, and the K-polaroid is prepared by heating stretched polyvinyl alcohol film in the presence of HCl, and then we get the film becomes slightly darkened. It behaves like a strong dichloric crystal. तो इस तरह हम पोलराइड्स को डेवलप करते हैं. पोलराइड्स का बेसिक यूज इट इज द सेम यूज एज वी हैड यूज फॉर निकोल प्रिज्म एंड टूरमलाइन एंड क्वार्ट्ज क्रिस्टल, कि भाई एक पोलराइजर की तरह बिहेव करेगा, एक एनालाइजर की तरह बिहेव करेगा. बट द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ दैट, बिकॉज इट दीज आर चीप्स एंड most of the time used on industrial purposes. So best is polarites are sunglasses, polarites used in filters, for laboratory purposes, in headlight of automobile, in three-dimensional motion picture, in window planes, and in windshield of automobiles. So this is the little bit analytical and descriptive idea about polarization of light, which is currently is not in syllabus, but it is important for your upcoming competitive examinations. Here we had completed the part of our wave optics. Here the wave optics is completed. Now onwards we are going to start very soon the photoelectric effect and the particle nature of light. So if you are first time on this channel, then please like, share and subscribe. And if you have any type of query, then write down in the comment box. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you, learners.